King Triton is the king of the mighty ocean, which has a lot of girls. They love the underwater world in which they live. But Ariel, his youngest child, dreaming of the world above the water surface, the human world. Although his father had warned her not to go to the human world, Ariel ignores it. She often swims to the surface to see the world that is above the water surface. Ariel and her best friend named Flounder love to visit Scuttle the seagull. Scuttle was telling them about the stuff people were discovered Ariel on the seabed. One day, King Triton knew that Ariel often goes to the ocean surface. Knowing that King Triton very angry, he was worried about the safety of his daughter, Ariel. King Triton asked friend's confidant, Sebastian, the crab, to keep an eye on Ariel. A few days later, Ariel saw a ship passing on the sea surface. "Human!" Ariel shouted, rushing to swim closer to the ship.
"Oh no!" said Sebastian the crab.
Sebastian and Flounder immediately pursued Ariel. When Ariel appeared on the water surface, Ariel saw a big ship full of sailors who sang and danced. Ariel luminous eyes when she saw him dashing. Sailors called him Prince Eric. Ariel falls in love with Prince Eric at the first sight. Suddenly, the sky became dark and darting lightning. Ships were boarded. Prince Eric was no match for this catastrophic storm. The ship was tossed around. The waves are so big, and once the prince was thrown into the sea. "I've got to save him!" shouted Ariel.
Ariel quickly swam to where the prince was thrown. Prince Eric almost drowned, and Ariel took him to swim to shore. Eric Prince did not move when Ariel touched her face gently and sang a beautiful love song for her. A beautiful singing with Ariel's voice is melodious. Soon Ariel heard Eric Prince's men were looking for him. Ariel did not want to be seen of men. She kissed Prince Eric and Ariel immediately dived back into the sea. Prince Eric awoke and found his Sir Grimsby, a faithful servant at his side.
"What happened?" asked Sir Grimsby to Prince Eric.
He was pleased the prince was still alive. "There was a girl," said Prince Eric, still looked confused. "A girl has saved me and dancing. Her voice is so melodious. I have never heard the sound of melodious yet. I want to find that girl and I want to marry her." Apparently, Prince Eric had also fallen in love at first sight. King Triton heard that Ariel falls in love with a man. Knowing that King Triton very angry, she immediately swam to the cave where Ariel keeps a collection of his belongings.
"Dad, I love him," said Ariel. "I wanna be with him."
"He was a man of his ether." Thunder lightning bolt of magic trident that destroy all special treasure Ariel. Then King Triton go. Ariel felt very sad and cried. Meanwhile, not far away, evil forces are at work in the underwater kingdom. A sea witch named Ursula he had ruled the kingdom under the sea before the King Triton. The witch is looking for ways to overthrow the leadership of King Triton. Through a crystal ball, Ursula saw Ariel crying. The magician that gets the idea.
I can beat King Triton through their children.
Then the witch was sending a pair of ill-waiters named Fulsam and Jetsam to go to the cave where Ariel is located. Fulsam and Jetsam managed to convince Ariel that Ursula could help her to get her beloved Prince Eric. At the time, Ariel was sad. She ignored the warning Sebastian the crab and went with Fulsam and Jetsam to meet the sea witch.
I have a deal for you, pretty boy, said Ursula when Ariel had entered his residence.
Pete? Asked Ariel, innocent.
I will make you into a human for 3 days, and you will meet your prince. If you can get him to kiss you before the sun sets on the 3rd day, you will be together forever as a human being. If he does not kiss you, you will turn back into a mermaid, and you will be my prisoner. And in return for this offer is your voice, said the witch.
My voice? Asked Ariel, surprised. I will not be able to speak or sing? How can I make the prince fall in love with me?
But you have still got a pretty face, isn't it, Ariel? Said the wizard.
Then Ariel approached Ursula, the sea witch used her magic power. The magic is making Ariel tail despair. And now Ariel has a pair of legs, and Ariel has become a human. At the same time, his voice left her body and erased in a witch shell by the sea. Then Ariel wants to find the prince. Ariel helped her friend to go to the beach. She tried to talk to them, but no sound came out of his mouth. And however, Ariel meets Prince Eric, who has fallen in love with him since heard his song. At the first, the prince thought he was reunited that the girls would once help him. But Ariel cannot speak. Then the prince was told that he was mistaken. Prince Eric sorry for Ariel. She needs clothes, petting, and eating. Then they brought Ariel to his place. In the next 2 days, the prince was like Ariel, but he still missed the girl's melodious voice. When you are boating alone, the prince was already almost kissed Ariel. But unfortunately, Fulsam and Jetsam rephrased their boats to disrupt them.
Almost alone, said Ursula, who walked through a crystal ball. I have to act alone, said Ursula. Then Ursula drinking magic potions and turned into a beautiful girl. Then the sea witch, who has turned into a beautiful girl, that met Prince Eric, the magician uses melodic voice of Ariel that she kept in shells and hung around his neck. Immediately, Prince Eric felt he had found the beautiful girl with the sweet voice that had saved him. On the third morning, the palace became busy. Eric Prince would marry a beautiful girl who had just met it, which is nothing but a sea witch who turns into a beautiful girl with magic. Ariel was gutted. Pity Ariel. The wedding ceremony will take on board the new Prince Eric. Scuttle happened to fly across the ship. Just as the bridge passes a mirror, shadows in the mirror as the shadow of Sea Witch. Scuttle realized that Prince Eric had been dubbed. Then she immediately explained this to Ariel and her friends to another. Sebastian quickly devised a plan. Flounder helped Ariel to board the ship Prince Eric. Scuttle set his flock of girls to delay marriage.
"I'll tell Triton would be it," said Sebastian.
Wedding of Prince Eric and the girl is almost done. When the flock of gulls, headed by Scuttle, slid attacked the bride. Bride screaming. The sound that comes out is the sound of sea witch. Ariel climbed to the deck just as Scuttle had dropped shells containing Ariel's voice from the girl's neck. Shellfish was broke and Ariel's voice back to him.
"Oh, Prince Eric, I love you," said Ariel.
"Apparently, it is you," said Prince Eric.
The sun disappeared on the western horizon just as they would kiss. 3 days given to Ariel has been exhausted. She turned back to the mermaid while the young girl turned into a sea witch. Ursula grabbed Ariel and plunged into the sea. Thanks to the notification Sebastian, King Triton is already waiting in the nest Ursula when they got there.
I'll let go if your child, if you want to be instead, said Ursula.
King Triton agreed. Now, King Triton is captive to replace Ariel Ursula. Ursula has Triton and Master Magic Triton under Sea Kingdom. Suddenly, a sword piercing the sea with shelter. Apparently, Prince Eric and Ariel came to the rescue. Ariel swam to the surface with him, but Ursula followed right behind them. Along with increasing anger, his body was getting bigger until the appearing on the sea surface. Then the prince was swimming toward the ship, then immediately go up. The prince was rushed to the wheel and directed the ship to Ursula's body. Just when Ursula would send a bolt of lightning toward the student Ariel, Prince Eric hit the ship. The wicked sea witch perished. Because the sea witch is dead, King Triton free. He appeared on the sea surface and holding a trident. King Triton saw Ariel staring at Prince Eric with a look of love.
Ariel loved Prince,
said the king of the ocean to Sebastian, who was at his side.
Sebastian nodded. "I'll miss her."
Then Lift lightning Triton how hard and aimed toward the tail Ariel. Instantly, the mermaid tail disappeared, and once again she got away. Ariel is now a real human. Prince Eric kissed the girl that he lost. Soon, they were married and stayed together.